Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's all great and fantastic and wonderful. Today, since we had such a great response to the manga video, I wanted to inform you that I have now read the first 5 volumes of Attack on Titan. I read them this weekend and finished up yesterday. And these first 5 volumes comprise a pretty wild ride in the world of Attack on Titan. And as I mentioned in the manga video, I avoided this for a long time because I thought it was sci-fi. I thought Attack on Titan was about attack on, I think I said Jupiter's moon on Friday and somebody said it was Saturn's moon, whatever. I thought that it was Attack on Titan, the moon, not Titans being a thing that are attacking humanity. I read the first 5. After the first... Honestly, I bought all 5 of these on one day, like $50 on a book I'd never read before, just hoped that it was okay. And after the first 2, I was kind of like, am I going to continue reading this? Like, it's quirky and weird and nothing is explained. And to give you the answer is, yes, I'm going to continue reading it because I finished the first 5. But also, by the end of these first 5, everything is quirky and weird and nothing has been explained. Which seems to be, in my experience, kind of the way that manga works, right? This is originally released in small, like, I don't know, 20 pages of a magazine per week or something like that, and it's an ongoing series. And so it is a serialized story that is somewhat sensationalized, meaning that each individual packet, each individual chapter, like I think this book comprises 3 episodes or something like that. Each of those individual episodes is dramatic and over the top, right? And that's just kind of the way that manga works. And so the premise that's presented here is that there's these giants that have appeared 100 and some years ago and just started wrecking humanity. And so we built up these huge walls, and we've been living inside of those walls for a long time now. And now some new titans have shown up and who are able to break through our defenses. And then we are fighting them. That's it, right? Like, we've lost huge swaths of humanity have been lost to these titans, and they want to eat us. And as of the first 5 volumes in a 32-volume series, we still have no knowledge about these titans. We still have nothing has been explained, nothing has been resolved. We're still in the very, very, very early days of this gigantic story, right? And I think that's perfectly fine. And I honestly think that's how it's going to be. Like, I don't know that we'll ever have resolutions to some of the questions that were posed in the first few volumes. That's okay, because that's kind of the point, right? It's kind of what manga is. It's more or less an exploration of situation. It's an exploration of humanity. In this particular case, it's an exploration of individual ability. By the time you get to, like, I think in volume 2, there's a little character, like, remember these characters in the beginning of the book? And I think in the beginning of this book, yeah, there's 3 characters. That's it. That's what you get. By the end of volume 5, at the start of this book, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 14 characters, right? So we've in 5 books, we've introduced the cast, and it's grown exponentially, and we are off battling titans and trying to figure out what's going on in this world because things have changed. And I finished up book 5 last night, and I wanted to go buy more, but I couldn't because I had things to do and life got in the way. So I'm going to continue reading it at some point. But what I can say is this is considered to be shonen manga. Like, I think this was published in a shonen magazine, but I would definitely not consider this shonen. It is and it isn't, right? Like, the teenagers in here are living in a world where they don't get to be teenagers, right? Like, that's in a lot of the a lot of the shonen style manga, it's about a young person living in a world where they're allowed to be a young person. In this world, nobody's young because we've been fighting for survival for 100 years, right? So the characters in this book might be teenagers, but they are very mature, and the story is very mature. And there's some disturbing art, right? Like there's some people getting eaten and stuff, which is interesting. The other thing, as I mentioned on Friday, is part of the charm of manga is how quickly these are created. And this one in particular is written and drawn by one guy. And it shows. Like there are panels where the art is extremely rushed. And I like that. Like I like that this is a passion project for this person who spends, you know, sometimes a full week writing a week's volume. And I think that it really shows. What I have noticed is in panels that matter, in panels where something significant happens, you can see that he puts a lot more effort into the art versus other panels where we're just trying to rush through a sequence, right? We're trying to get through maybe an action sequence that takes up a couple of pages and you're just kind of jumping through things, and it'll be really rough, almost outline style artwork. But I really enjoyed this experience, and I'm going to keep reading as soon as I can get some more. And I've got a whole bunch of other stuff sitting on the shelves. Last week we talked, and I asked for recommendations, and I got a whole bunch of recommendations. I think the top 3 recommendations that I saw were Berserk, Vinland Saga, and Blade of the Immortal. I have the first 2 volumes of Berserk sitting on my shelves, and I have 4-ish, maybe 5 of the big Vinland Saga volumes, the big ones, the hardbacks. And after you guys all recommended Blade, we ordered the first 3 of the large, like leather-bound blades. So I have those now, and those are going to come up soon. I think I'm going to start on Vinland Saga first, just because I'm in this Viking mindset, working on my Viking-themed game, and so having some more source material, especially now that my Viking-themed game is not... I'm not trying to set it in historical fact anymore. It's more or less just a tale of the North. I can use some more inspiration in that regard. So I think that I'm going to probably read Vinland Saga next. The book club, I also finished Remina. I'm not going to do a review about that until we talk about it on the book club, which I think is September 1st. So if you pick the book up and you want to talk with us about the book and have a shared experience, that will be September 1st on the Rolling Dice and Taking Names Discord channel. We will, you know, have an in-depth book club type discussion about Remina. But I also did start Uzumaki last night, which is, it's got a really interesting opening. So, thank you everybody who suggested titles. I will try to come back and report on them as I read, if that interests you. If not, then maybe I won't. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more manga reviews or not. I don't know. I mean, I like telling you guys what I think. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is hearsay. It is a noun meaning information gathered from another that is not part of one's direct knowledge. My talk to thee must be how Benedict, in sick in love with Beatrice, of this matter, is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. William Shakespeare. Hearsay. Hearsay. I think I murdered that stanza, but that's just how it is when you're reading Shakespeare. I can't imagine trying to memorize his lines. I guess that's why people who do that are paid professionals.